So, was there another question? Because I said questions are reset. This is a reset for the teacher, for the speaker. That's why most teachers don't want to have people asking. Yes? That's why we have this crazy idea. I'll ask my question, but only when he has his coffee break. See? Because he feels more comfortable, he feels more protected. Not with me. No questions during coffee break, because then I have my reset. Clear? Time off. This is German. See, that's German. It's also, see, that's also German. They even put clear definitions on their break time. Break time is break time. You're not disturbing my break time, because I'm working so hard during my non-break time. So it's all organized in Germany. So, but anyone has a question here?
You're going to update us on the new technology that you mentioned yesterday.
I will, because you're here only tomorrow. I will do this tomorrow.
Okay.
I want to only show you now a quick overview to put everything together about what is informational medicine. And this is the background of version 6 for the screen. It really puts together my ideas that this is the level of energy and matter. Yes? Impulse, oscillation, polarity, particle, radiation, field is just different levels of matter and energy. But then, and this is what we have to understand, information is just as complex and actually much more complex and has much more laws related to it than energy and matter. See, we all know about photons, electrons, we know about magnetism, we know about field, we know about batteries, we know about the different applications of energy, we know about distribution grids, and we know thousands of things we can say about energy. But what can we say about information? How is it organized? What's a stronger information and what's a less strong information? What's a more lasting information, what's a less lasting information? What's a more complete information, what's a less complete? So all this we have no clues, we have no concepts in our mind. And this is what I'm doing. I developed a science of informational medicine, and when you put informational medicine, many people speak about this, but if you put informational medicine in Google, you will find only my websites, page after page. Because I invented this, and I know I will continue to develop this. And like, you can have an axis, and the axis is basically horizontal or perpendicular to the energy matter axis. It's complementary. It's not replacing it, it's a complement. From our kind of one-dimensional view, we get a two-dimensional view. Even Einstein didn't know about this. He thought everything is energy and matter. It's not. I mean, he was dealing, what was he dealing most with? It was, of course, information. He was writing books, making theories. So, but he was saying energy and matter is everything that exists. How stupid for somebody like Einstein to say this, where his whole life was about information. And his whole reputation, his whole feeling of good or not good was about finding a theory or proving a theory or seeing that his information was proven right. See, this is the limitation of Einstein. So Einstein didn't know anything about this, and that's why he said all these action at a distance is miracle, is it like a phantom. If I say something on the internet, it will have, maybe in the next moment, if it's like a new sensational discovery, it will have actions all over the planet within seconds. That's action at a distance. Now it's clear, it's very simple, it's possible. And it's not a miracle, it's just information. And so information has also different densities. Like the most limited one is yes, no. Right, wrong, plus, minus, true, false. The next is like a link. It's a link like you use in an internet site, a link to something else. You go there and there's the answer. It's already information, but it's not containing any information itself, but it's a link. Then the next is a plan. It gives you like a plan of a house, for example. The next one is a model. Model is already more than a plan. It's already three-dimensional. Yes? And then a symbol maybe symbolizes all villages of the earth or all architecture in general. It's even more complex. And then hologram is even more complex than that. So we see, I could talk like a whole day about these different dimensions of information. So, but I want to make this short. The polarity idea is of course hanging on every doctor's office, at least in the East, this yin-yang. Can they tell you much about this? Usually they say, well, we have to be in balance. Terrible. Like let's say male-female, you have to be male-female kind of balance. Balance is kind of death, because it means stagnation. Like when you're balanced, you're lying on in your bed, you're balanced, but it's death, in a pre-stage of death. Really, what this is showing is movement. You see, also you have the sinus curve here, the sinus, and then even deeper inside this movement, there is a place of rest. So movement and rest has to be, for example, always alternating. But within the rest, there has to be some movement. See, again, you have the yin-yang inside the rest, inside this point. And inside this point, you have again, that's a hologram. So when we are sleeping like only sleeping, it's not a good sign. If we really sleep completely, it means we are dead. So in sleep, there has to be action, there has to be movement also. So this is the best symbol possible. And actually all spiritual symbols across the different religious signs, they all have this concept of polarity. And then the next thing is that we need to have, there is in our life always three levels. There's the matter, symbolized by the earth. Then we have energy, which is like here, the heart is energy. Then we have, next level is information. You see this, all the different symbols here, of course, musical symbols and all this is information. And then we have the source, that's oneness. So we have to have all these things, and it's built into our quadrinity symbol. And earth is not only earth, but it means our ability for momentum. Energy means our ability for change. Information means our ability for potential change. That's the cloud. And the cloud is a good example now. It shows us how we are organized. We are not organized like a computer. We are organized like a cloud computer. Means we are just receivers of information from the cloud. And then all the processing is really done in the cloud. This is the future. This is now happening only in a few places already. The computation is not done on the computer anymore. It's done on the cloud in some central computing systems. This is how life is run now. We are connected to the matrix. And if you know it or not, every night we are being uploaded again with new programs, and we load back information from the day. That's our situation. And information really controls energy. It's not that energy controls information. It's very simple. My thoughts modulate my acoustic energy. It's not the acoustic energy that modulates my thoughts. There's some feedback, of course. If you talk American English, it also makes your brain slowly very dull. Yes. Yeah, it's a feedback mechanism. You see, that's why the Chinese, for example, built this elaborate language, because if you have an elaborate language, a very refined modulation of sound and everything, it will stimulate your brain for better activity. So there's a feedback. Information is not time and space dependent. We know this. If you have a battery here, in a year it will be empty. But if you put the book here, in a year it will be the same book, the same information. So it's very different. Energy and information is not, it's opposite in many ways, as they're complementary. And this is really the concept of the hologram. It's very, very important. See, this is how a hologram is always recorded. The original energy, the beam of the laser, is split into two things. One goes to the receptor directly, and the other goes indirectly, reflected from what we want to capture. And what happens on the plate where you record it? There's an interference. And this we have to have in our whole life. We have to have an interference, a polarity, and that's why we are not meant to be alone, for example. If you have a partner, the partner gives you some interference. So this is how really you can make things real, by interference with your partner, with the environment. So polarity is part of the process of creating hologram. And then this is the way I say, if you want to access the informational matrix during the day, you not want to wait until you're deep sleep. What are you doing in deep sleep to connect to the matrix? What are you doing? Yes, you do the rapid eye movement. And the rapid eye movement is a switching process between left and right brain, very fast. So you get informationally into this PLE state, into a meta-stable state. And that's what you do when you pump a laser, when you make new chemical connections. You first have to pump, you first have to bring it into a meta-stable state, and then it can react. Yes? So this is how we are being pumped every night by this rapid eye movement. And this is the life of as a program. We'll talk more about this, and changing the software is not as simple as the secret tells you. It's not just, I wish I'm a millionaire, and if you wish, you make many posters on the wall, or I want this girl for me, only for me. No, you need to reset. You need to reset, and then what can come to you will come to you because you are again open after the reset. And that's it. So I would say we'll make a little break.